Hello everyone, today we will be learning about how to access database from Android application. So let's get started. So this is the general overview structure of the project file in an Android. So first of all, we will be creating an activity register class, and that will be extending an activity interface. So place alt plus enter. It's a suggestion given by the Android Studio itself. So inside it we will be creating some fields. So this is a suggestion given by the Android Studio itself, so we won't be using this, so just undo it. Now we'll be adding some fields into this class. So first of all, create a private field called button register. So we'll be making a button register variable. Press alt enter to add this class, or to say import this class. So we will be making a new variable, name edit text, name it as input full name. Now we'll be making one more edit text, that will be input email. We will be making one more edit text, so this will be input password, and we will be creating SQLite handler object. So we'll be making this class as you can see in the structure. So next will be now we will be inheriting all the methods of the activity interface. So override, so that will be overridden methods. So first of all, we will be creating an onCreate method, that will be onCreate, and inside that we will be passing bundle saved instance. And inside this we will be writing some fields. So we will be calling a super method of the super class from this. So that will be done using super.onCreate and passing the variable into it. Now we will be using a set content view function to set the main activity when we open the application. So this will be representing which application which activity we want to see when the app is opened. So press alt enter, and that will be imported. So next, so that should match the layout XML file and whatever the activity we want to display on the open application, opening an application. So we will be now instantiating the variables. So find view by ID, and we have already created one field inside the activity register XML, that is name. And similarly for the email also we'll be doing the following the same method, equals to edit text, find view by ID r.id.email, and similarly for the input password, that will be edit text, find view by ID password. And we will be creating a on click listener on the button, so that will be button find view by ID. Okay, we will be registering the button first, and then we will be creating action listener after it. So now we will be using the object of the SQLite handler. So that too we have to interact with the database, SQL database. So we have already created an instance of the SQLite handler. Here we will be using its object equals to new SQLite, SQLite handler, and passing inside this we will be passing cat application context. This is showing an error. So we have to create a SQLite class first. So we will be editing in the SQLite class first. So this will be extending a SQLite database. So we will be writing extends SQLite database open helper. Okay. So this will be automatically importing the SQLite open helper class, and we will be implementing all its method, that is on create and on upgrade. So this is saying there is no default constructor. We will be making that in the process. So inside the on create method, so first of all we will be generating some fields here, some private static field, that is database version, table name, database name, and all those things. So there first will be database version first, then another field will be database name, that will be of the type string, underscore name, let's call it Android underscore API. For that we will be having a field for table name. So final string table underscore login equals to, let's call it as login. So moving on, so now we will be having one more field, final string, we need it for key ID, that will be ID. So like this only we will be needing some more fields. So next will be key underscore name to, let's call it name, comma key underscore email, let's call it email, comma key underscore ID UID, that will be UID, key. So we will be writing in the next, so that will be key underscore created at underscore at, so that will be created at, so that's it. Sorry. So now I will be creating a default constructor for the class, and inside it we will be passing the context, that will be context. Inside the definition we will be calling it's a super class, super default constructor for the super class, that will be using super method, and passing inside this we will be passing context and database name, null, and the database version. So now inside we will be renaming the parameters for the on upgrade. So coming back into the on create method, we will be creating a string login table, create login table, which will be creating a table inside the database. After that we will be executing this query using db.asql execute SQL. So this query will be executed on the database. So this will create a new table for us, and on upgrade we will be creating the same. So db.xql drop table if it exists, and then on create db again have to call the same function. Now we will be making a function to add user into the database. So the definition is simple: add user, and we will be passing a string name, string email, string uid, and string created at. So this is for storing data into database. So inside this we will be making object of the SQL database and object of the content values. Inside the values we will be passing key value pairs, and we will be inserting into the database using db.insert. So coming back to the activity register, so now we can pass get application context here. Now we will be registering the on click listener for the button. So that will be done using set on click listener, and inside this we will be making view on click listener. This will be a abstract function inside this only. So that will be making a on click. I press Alt plus enter. That will be making. So for the particular class we have to import class for toast and for the view. So inside this I have made a name, email, and password. So for the time being I have fast forward the video and set this variable. So please, this is telling me to register make a new function. I have to make a new function regarding this only. So we will be make a new function register user inside this, and it will be taking a string name, string email, string password. So we will be making all this field final. So add a final keyword before the string data type. So this is I would already told. If it is null, then register email, else if they are not null, then we will be passing parameters. If not, we have to pass we will be making a toast. So I'll be creating a string request for this. So inside the string request we will be taking object of the string request, and inside this we will be posting the request. So please note, this IP address is purely meant for the emulators on which we will be running this application, and I am using a WAMP server. So corresponding to different servers there will be a different login URL, or we can say post URL. So please note. Okay, so this is a response, and correspondingly we will be making an. So on the success callback, this will be invoked, and on the error callback, so this is on the error callback. So whatever inside the on error response will be come into this, and whatever on the response will be come into this. Will be changing the variable of the parameters. Inside this we'll be taking a try catch block. So this is passing a JSON object, JSON exception, because that can be occurred inside this. So this is given an error. I have to check what it is saying. Exception. Okay. So I have to import a class regarding this. I can print using a.print. I directly added the inside the catch block, so it was giving error. So JSON object jobj equals to new JSON object. Inside it we'll be passing the response variable that we are getting from the argument, and boolean error equals to jobject dot get string, get boolean because it is of the type boolean, end of error. So if error not equals to error, then what we will do, and if it is not the case, then what we will do. So inside, if it is not an error, so we will be converting all into the JSON object dot get string uid, another variable JSON object user equals to jobject dot get string get JSON object of type user. And we will be making one more variable, string name equals to user dot get string and name. So string email equals to user dot get string of email. So one more extra bracket is there, so how to delete it. So string created at equals to user dot get string from the email created at. So now we will be inserting calling the function add user and passing all these fields into it. So below it is giving me suggestions, so I can see. Now I'll be calling a finish to handle this. So what we write inside the else block. So toast, we will make an toast if error is prompted to us. So what will be the length of it? We'll make a long length dot length long dot show. Okay, so this toast will be made. If error response is on the error listener, so we'll be making a toast again, get application constant, comma, the error message you want to display. So that will be the volley error, comma, length of the toast, the time up to which it should display. So, comma, so I put a dot here. Dot length long dot show. Okay, now coming so I have to resolve the error now. We will see now adding a function. We have to add a function of which will return of the type map string, comma string. This will be used. So inside this function So we will be typing all this. So for the time being I have just made a simple one. So we will be using a class volley here. So this is the activity register XML file. So there will be a linear layout, one edit text for full name typing, one edit text for email typing, one edit text for password, and one button to submit into the database. So now we will be making a PHP for it because Android inside will be contacting to PHP here. So we'll be making a class db function. So next will be a private db variable. So we will be making a constructor for the class. We will be defining all the variables inside this. Now I will be writing a code to connect to database. Next we will be selecting a database. So for storing a data we will be using a function store user, and inside this we will be passing these fields, and we will be making a SQL query, and if the results are true then we will be inserting the ID, and query will be, so select star from user where user equals to UID will be returned, and we will fetch this as an array. End of this PHP, and we will be writing index PHP that will post into the database. So if the tag, we will be taking a tag, and we have to include the function we defined before, creating object, taking a response, and if the response equals to register we will be posting all these things. So we will be calling a store user function, so that is inside the db function, as you can see. So we will be calling this function, and if it is true then all the response will be encoded into JSON, will be returned into the Android application. We won't be using this. I will show you to see from the PHP MyAdmin only. So coming back to our application, now we'll run this application to see how it looks. So this will take time to run. This will take some time. Okay, it is launched. So application will be launched here. This is slow. So okay, the process is done. It will install the application now inside the emulator. So inside full name will be typing as John. So see the structure of the database first. So this you have to create. So Android API is the database and users is the table. So this you have to create. So we will be typing. So you can see there is no field. So you will type John. Email will be john@gmail.com. Password will be 0120, and we will be clicking a register function. So now to check, you can come to PHP login and you can refresh it, and as you can see there is a field added with name John, email and other parameters. Thank you for watching.